my drink, bitch. Wrong. Cocaine is a habitual. He's all one of the best looking motherfuckers you've ever.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
One of the best looking. His aura or whatever.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Fuck you.
Yes, Cuban dick.
Let's talk to
You ever suck some dick? Dr. Sid. What?
Keep your friends close. Keep your friends close.
Said good.
Hold my drink.
I said.
Hold my drink, bitch.
I said.
Hold my drink, bitch.
I said.
Hold my drink, bitch.
I said.
Habitual line step. Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Put your enemies close.
Keep your
I said.
keep your friends close.
I said.
Put your enemies close.
I said good. I said.
Hold my drink, bitch.
I said good.
Hold my drink, bitch. Wrong. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. One of the baddest motherfuckers of all. His aura. One of the baddest motherfuckers of all.
Keep your friends close.
Put your enemies close.
Keep your friends close.
His aura or whatever. I seen it.
I said good. I said good. I said good. I said good day. I said good
Hold my
day.
drink, bitch. Habitual line. Cocaine is a hell of a habitual line step. Hold my drink, bitch. His aura or whatever.
And my present girlfriend has sucked 30.
Put on these glasses.
My style is impetuous.
Sucked 36 dicks. My ex-girlfriend is catatonic after fucking a dead guy.
Let's talking to the horse.
I said good day.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Back in. All set. Producing. Heck yeah. Reuben, lying in the truth. Another great episode. Where?
Hold my drink, bitch. Hold my drink. Hold my drink. Hold my drink. Hold my drink, bitch. Hold my drink.
Backs off. Left hand.
Keep your friends close.
Put your enemies close.
Keep your friends close.
Put your enemies close.
Put on these glasses.
We are their cattle. You can't.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubble.
Yes, Cuban dick. Yes, Cuban dick. Yes, Cuban dick.
Suck 36.
My style is.
Put.
Let's talking to the horse. Fuck you. Fuck you. Let's talking to the horse. Fuck you. Fuck you. Let's talking to the horse.
Yes, Cuban dick.
Fuck you.
I said good day.
My ex-girlfriend is catatonic after fucking a dead guy.
I told you all that I was the greatest of all time. Meatloaf!
I rule.
Suck 30.
Now face your ass on my bed.
I am the good camera.
Go away, baiting. Go away, baiting.
Okay. I think I'll stop there. Sorry. I get a little carried away sometimes. Oh, man. I love those sound bites. I keep adding more and more to them. Quite enjoyable. I'm going to take a drink of my drink. I just read an article about those Stanley cups. This is lemonade. I am addicted to lemonade. At lunch, I used to go to Popeyes like every day and get that frozen lemonade. So good. So good. Popeyes frozen lemonade, one of the best. This is from concentrate made from home. Can't see through it. That's probably bad. That's probably because there's too much concentrated. It's way too concentrated. in this drink. But they said that the acidity level of a lemonade is at like 2, and then like the real bad acid is like at 1. But they said if you drink carbonated sodas in those Stanley cups, the acid from the carbonation will deteriorate the inside of the cup, and you will get poison. And the guy was, after the story, this guy had kidney and liver poisoning, and he was like, "Oh man, what's going on?" And drink Stanley cup soda every day. It's my Stanley cup, keeps my soda and my beer warm. So I don't know, not my thing. You know, to each their own. They have their Stanley cups and mugs, and you know, I don't know if it has anything to do with. I can't explain it. You know what I mean? I'm just not attached to things. I guess I've learned that I don't know if growing up poor or what it might be. Just I'm not attached to cups or trying to have my own stuff. You know what I mean? It's like just lucky to have one. You know, and even like I remember when I got my first apartment, it wasn't like I can't wait to have a fucking full set of cups. It was like shit. I can go to 7-Eleven, all these places, and get cups. Every time I go out to Denny's, I'm getting new silverware, you know. And I'm gonna go back in the day. You go to all the fast food joints, they would have salt and pepper out, and like getting new salt and pepper, you know, and then just go home and mix match. People are like, oh dude, this cup says Denny's. Heck yeah, it's hella cool, you know. And then that's just the way it was back in the day. I don't know. For me, it was more. But anyways, still this day, I have a coffee mug, but the only reason I use a coffee is a real big one. And then when I go to work, when I travel, I have a big red plastic Target cup, you know, from like Target, you know, like you can buy it for like summertime. It's like $1. But it holds a bunch of coffee. Beep, beep, you know what I mean? And then, obviously, this is actually a present someone bought me, so that was kind of cool. But they're Star Wars cups, yeah. But I don't know. Chewing ice. You guys chew ice? I chew ice all the time. I don't know why. I think it's bad for your teeth, you know, but that's what I do. Anyways, topics today. Stanley Cup, carbonation, you're going to die, shark attacks. I'm going to talk about a little bit, maybe a little bit coaching that I have experienced. I follow Sam Tripoli once again, reluctantly. I can only take so much lies and propaganda, especially from people that you kind of like, you know, and don't say respect, you know, I guess respecting them, hard work with it. People are, you know, successful. You got to respect what they've done and everything. I watch his comedy because I was a fan. I'm like, his comedy's okay. You know, nothing great. But hard worker, it seemed like. So I'm really supportive of hardworking people. You know, it kind of pushes me. So like Bert Kreischer, to me, he's okay. I hate to hear him on a podcast because his laugh is just fucking crazy. But, man, hard working, god dang. So like that's kind of like I admired that kind of stuff. Anyways, back to Sam Tripoli. I can only take so much of the tinfoil hat because it's like so far. I can't understand if it's fake. He's just trying to do whatever he can to sell. It's such a lie. At one side, he's talking like, I know so much. And the other side, like, well, then why don't you know this? Why don't you know the basic stuff? You know, it would kind of like tear apart this other stuff if you just pay attention to this. You know what I mean? Like, no. It's no story. So that kind of gets upsetting after a while. But anyways, they're say they want World War III. People. Who is they? That's what I want to talk about. I don't think he meant like Republicans. He didn't mean that, or Trump supporters. I think he meant like the elitist or the millionaires, maybe. Or I would think they would be like Russia and Iran. They want war because they already have like citizens who are thinking about. They're seeing on TV and internet. They're like, man, there's a better life than what we have. We need to change things. And those people are like, fuck no. Look, it's going to be shitty everywhere. We can make it shitty everywhere too, so we can control our own people. So they're trying to control the civilization. They maybe Republicans who the Republican Party donated 5% more into the military industrial complex. Maybe they want war, but there's already a budget. There's always like a a lack of funding for the military. So like, you know, Democrats aren't pro-war. I think I was looking up today too. Like Trump, he dropped something like 1,600 drone attacks when George Bush was president. Right after 9/11, he did like 39. And people were like, "Man, you're killing a lot of people." And then Obama got president. He dropped 639, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, you're getting a lot of women and children." And you know, there's a lot of women and children dying. Well, obviously, it wasn't like Obama's like, got one. Hey, no, it's my presidential controller. I'm going to do drone attacks. You know, it wasn't like that. But it was like, yeah, go ahead, take out the wedding. Oh, that was Bill Clinton. Anyways, I'm mixing up my voices. Anyways, but Trump did 1,600. It's like, oh yeah, you think you dropped a lot of bombs? Watch me drop some bombs, you know. But so like, they get more pro-war as time goes on, and then like I said, Trump gave 5% more to the military-industrial complex, so there was no lack of funding. I mean, nobody wants to stop like consumer goods, like the consumer companies, all the bull crap we buy. China does not want to stop that. If we're one of the number one purchasers, if we're going to be focusing on war, we're not going to be like, oh, know what? We should buy some new tennis shoes. We're going to be like, cut that shit out. We're building everything here. We're fucking doing a trade embargo. You ain't getting nothing no more. Fucking going to war. You know what I mean? That's how it works. They don't want that. Ooh, Russia's not going to buy their stuff. Like, oh, think now China, come over here. We'll buy everything you got. Look, everybody's wearing Jordans and, you know, which is an American product, but it's made in Malaysia. I mean, so anyways, so who's they? You know, I don't like the vague stuff. Like, I got kicked off of TikTok yesterday. This guy, you can tell he's wasn't very smart, and he was doing a live, and he said, wasn't they? America's economy get back together. We just cut regulations and let businesses do what they need to do. Like first of all, that's the most vague bullshit. Like, what regulations? What regulations right now are stopping Denny's? What regulations is stopping Target? You know, what regulations are you talking about? There's oil. We're actually producing more oil now than ever have in 20 years. You can go look it up. You know, there was an oil drop, but obviously now because they're doing some shit over there in Iran, over there in Israel, there's going to be some oil problems going on. So things have changed a little bit. But here in the United States, we are producing more than we are importing. We have for a little while since the Biden administration. But we don't have enough refineries. That's just plain fact. Anyways, so I asked the guy, what regulations? Well, if you want to know. That's like the number one answer. Let me tell you this. Let me give you this. I'm gonna give you guys a little hint, okay? If someone says some bullshit thing, say, well, we just need to work harder. Okay, work harder on what? What? Well, if you want to know, this whole conversation is, what the fuck are we gonna do, right? So like, we need to get rid of regulations. Well, what regulations? Well, if you want to know what regulations, well, that's the whole idea. What is your idea? Well, first, oil. Biden stopping drilling oil, and it's crazy that, first off, everybody wants to protect the oil companies. What labor working? Do you know how many people that really employs in America? Not a lot of people to the oil industry, right? Not. It's with supplies, cars, and travel. We're producing lots of oil. Okay, you're talking about some kind of making capital. You're trying to make more money for a group. We got to make refineries. Build them. But the problem is that people stopped investing in America when foreign countries started lowering prices when Trump was in office, saying, hey, you guys should produce a lot more oil. So they did. So people stopped investing in American oil companies and refineries. So that's what they're trying to get people to do right now, is invest in American oil. They have to build refineries. They're pumping it out. Where else are they're storing it? Look it up. They're storing oil. Anyways. So the first regulation is oil. I said, well, we're producing more oil than we ever have. He said, well, if you really want to know, block. I got blocked. That's how the TikTok started, right? Somebody ready? I know it was a long circle to get there, but I'm on TikTok. Guy's going live. He says, we need to get rid of regulation. Okay, cool. What regulation? Tell me what regulation you want to get rid of. Well, if you really want to know, if you know, first, if you really want to know, the first regulation I would probably get rid of was the oil. By just ruining the oil industry. Well, we're producing more oil now than we have in the last 20 years. We just lacked refineries. Block. No, it was like just like that. You know, I'm telling you, I've been in 1,000 live TikToks just like that, of conversations just like that. You know, on there it says like the Democrats are pushing vaccines. I said, well, Donald Trump actually passed Operation Warp Speed. Like, yeah, you know, he didn't want to. He was lied to about it. He then said it was his biggest victory as president when one of his biggest successes was getting the vaccine out. Well, you know, they forced him to say that, but he wasn't making you take it. Oh, he was trying to distribute it, but remember he hired his family member to do distributing, and it got all locked up, and they couldn't figure out how to do it. Block. Just have some information, right? It's real basic, you know, have information. But yeah, that's how that went. Happens all the time. But yeah, Sam Tripoli, he's on Twitter. I'm back on Twitter following Sam Tripoli, and he's saying, they. Who's they? Stop with the vague. And don't say George Soros. You know what I mean? It's like saying Bigfoot. Well, Bill Gates. Bill Gates wants war. Like, how does any of it affect any of these people enough that, you know, for power or money? Bill Gates, you know, we're all just going to affect them enough for money and power, you know? So, who's they? I said, if you want to say that people actually give money to the military-industrial complex, the Republican Party, I'm down for that. That could be they. They would love to go to war because they can keep on saying, look, we can live in fear, and they can keep on buying things and missiles and tanks and then expenditures, and those people get bigger houses and then looking for generational wealth. And they always figure, man, if I can just make it for my kids, and then we're stoked we got it because already they got the best life ever. Because they're on their way to Epstein's Island every time. Those damn Republicans. Or Putin. I mean, I said Putin and Iran tied together right there, right? Trump giving secrets out to Russian billionaires, and it's crazy. Anyways, yeah. Sam Tripoli, they. Speaking of Sam Tripoli, Nate Bargatze, I believe that's how you say his name. He just started a new network called Nateland. It's going to be a family-friendly. It's going to deal with respect. What was the other thing? Inclusiveness, heartwarming stories, kindness. It's going to be relatable characters. The family can enjoy, like Nickelodeon or Hallmark or Disney, like one of those other stations like that. It's going to be like one of those, I think, you know, Oprah Network or something. But instead, it's going to be probably Nate. He'll probably have a couple of buddies help write, and they're like, we're going to write all the stories, but the, you know, skits. There's going to be skits on there, he said. Probably. But it sounds like it's going to be that TV show Last Man Standing, basically with Tim Allen, but minus the politics, you know. Anything, you know what, I support more than merry. You got more entertainment, more options, go for it, you know. And Nate Bargatze, he doesn't cuss, you know, and his stories are, you know, funny. He tells funny stories. I think it's more of his point of view and point of him. So I don't know how that's going to translate to everything else, but maybe it's going to work out great. But hey, whatever takes down Hallmark, you know, I mean, Hallmark shows are terrible. As soon as the show starts, you're like, okay, who's going to go back home or going to find their roots, or who owns a fucking Christmas tree farm. One of these people actually owns an old motel out in the woods, or who's the guy she left in high school who was a farmer and now comes back and he owns the whole winery. Like, it's almost crazy. Like, sometimes I watch, I'm like, okay, what's the crazy story this time? And the girls are always sixes. Sorry, there's always something wrong with them. Like, okay, why is she on Hallmark and not on regular movies? Oh, she's related to somebody and she's not the pretty. And the main character's not the prettiest girl on the show. And then they have to get the prettier girl and they have to make her look ugly because the other girl, somehow she's better actress. I don't know how they get the roles. And it's the same dude over and over again. Same dude is dating all the girls. He's dating everybody. Hallmark man-hoes. And then it's like crazy because there's like 50 stories about Christmas. And there's like 4 dudes and 4 girls, like Barbie characters. And then they interlock these fucking 4 characters in. And then throughout the whole winter, you have to unremember that guy just fell in love with that girl. And now they're like mixing, no, he liked that other girl. Or they're playing a whole fucking other character. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Hallmark. Yeah. Go get him, Nate. That's what I'm going to say. My thing is like, Nate, take down. Hope my wife didn't do that. Take down Hallmark. What over here? Is it the hair? Oh, it's just when it's gray. Like a mark. Whatever. Don't give a fuck. Take my glasses off. I can't see anyways. Yeah, so go get him, Nate. Nate, Stanley Cup, Shark Attacks, Yahoo articles, kind of politics, founding fathers. Yeah, I don't know about that. Part of the problem, yeah. They would call, yeah, it's kind of funny, but I guess I don't know. Fuck. Okay, here we go. I'll just start reading my list out loud, so you get to enjoy some of that too. I don't know. I'm just not going to jump into that right now. I'll talk about, when I was coaching. I was talking about, I don't know, I have the story here about America. Like, it's crazy. Like, there's groups that want to make us look like the Middle East and Israel, how they're separated so much. Like Texas, California, Oklahoma, and I'll do it sometimes, but I'm not trying to separate. I'm just trying to put people in their place. You know what I mean? Like, when people say some dumb shit, like, California is too expensive to live. I'm like, well, if you bought a house in California and a house in Texas, the Texas house throughout the length of the loan is going to cost you twice as much. So, you live in Texas. In California, you live in California, and it will be cheaper throughout the length of your loan because they have something called Prop 13. You look it up. Anyways, but they want to separate. They want us to be these individual Middle Eastern, Israel, Gaza, Iran type warring fractions. You know what I mean? And I was reading a story. Just let me see if I can get this here about Texas. Texas, and the beautiful story of Six Flags Magic Mountain. Let's see here, boom. Not bad. Let's move myself over here for now. Boom, boom, boom. The origins of Six Flags Magic Mountain. See, here we go. Right? And it's like, okay, well, what's the origins? Oh, well, Texas originally, like, Columbus. Where's he from? Spain. So Mexico was pretty much dominated by the Spaniards and French and a bunch of other people. That's why, and even Germany way back in the day, Mexican music, the tuba and the accordion, that's polka. That's from Germany, but Spain took control of Texas, the territory of Texas, from 1519 to 1685. That's how long they were there. It was Spanish land. And they would basically just come there every once in a while and check it out. Not really used. And since it really wasn't used, the French came in 1685. They're like, King Louis XIV, and he's like, I'm going to colonize this and make this a French Louisiana colony. That's when you start getting that that Louisiana French, colony type stuff. There's a lot of French influence here in America. But when Spain was in there, that's when they named things like San Antonio, right? And that's when they got all those Spanish names originally. There in Texas, and that's one flag. And then France came over, and they're like, here's our flag. And there's a bunch of La Filas, or I don't know what those fucking things are, but that's what they have, a bunch over there. And then Mexico had a big old 11-year war over there in Texas. And Mexico was like, fuck, this is our area right here. We're going to go and take over. From 1821 to 1836, Mexico's going to take over. But then in 1836, the white American settlers were like, we don't like the Mexican rules. We want our own southern rules over here in America. So they became the Republic of Texas. Because the Mexican government didn't allow slavery. But Texas is like, we ain't going to give up all slavery over here in Texas. And they had like Texas Rangers are like, well, you better get out. We're keeping slavery around. So they got another flag, right? And then on the 1845, Texas became part of America. And then in 1861, Texas is like, you know what, America? Your rules are just like Mexico. You're trying to get rid of slavery. We don't like that. We want slavery. And America and the rest of the world was like, we're kind of getting rid of slavery. It's kind of outdated. So we're going to end slavery. So Texas had their own new Confederate state flag from 1861 to 1865. I don't know if you guys know, but they weren't very good in this battle for their own state. So United States doesn't even really recognize the fact that they tried to leave. So I said they became America in 1845, and then they try to leave from 61 to 65. But America's like, bitch, you might have think you were on a break, but we still had you. 1845 to present day. See? Right here it says, I think, and. They put it in there and say, like, yeah, here you thought you were on a break, but nah, you weren't on a break. We own you. Right? So those are the 6 flags of Mexico. Spain, originally, claiming Texas. Let's forget all the Spanish names, right? And then France came over. So they built colonies along the mouth of the Mississippi. The French. Also, they probably didn't pass the way that way to Canada. I imagine that's quite a distance, especially in 1685. But yeah, France and Mexico. Mexico's like, hey, this is our land. These are like Mexicans and these are Native Americans. We're just letting everybody live free. This is guarantee religion and independence. And then Texas is like, nah, dude, we want slavery. And then we'll say, okay, how about this? We'll allow you to be part of America. They're like, nah, dude, we want slavery. And I say, look, bitch. And then America bitch slapped them. And they didn't even let them vote for a long time. If you look that shit up, they weren't able to vote. But yeah, 6 Flags America, kind of crazy, and you'll start looking and figure out that's where Six Flags Magic Mountain came from. So over there, they made a whole thing about Texas and 6 Flags of Texas, and they kind of celebrated it one time. It was like I think it was like 1965 or 1961 when Six Flags Magic Mountain first started over there in Texas, and then had all the rides and did all the crazy stuff. No regulations, get on the roller coaster, woohoo! He chopped his head off. Capitalism, weehaw! There you go. Get rid of regulations on there. Yeah, kind of crazy. But yeah, even like our founding fathers, I was talking about people like they started this government. Oh shit! Now, they started this government to protect themselves from the government. And I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. That's like saying, look, I'm your mom and dad, okay? So here's the first set of rules. In case we get out of control, you can overthrow mom and dad, okay? Number one rule, okay? That's it. No, what the fuck? Number two rules. I'm going to make sure I can protect you from any kind of rule. And you can have any weapon you want without any regulation from us. We don't want to know what you're going to do. Go ahead and pew, pew, pew away. Like, one, wasn't true, right? So, that doesn't make sense. And then, I don't know, it's another thing. When America first started, we basically just followed the original rules we had. We just got rid of a couple things we didn't like. You know what I mean? They had gun laws already. They didn't have people walking around with fucking guns. The people that walking around with guns were military. So people are like, can you put your guns away? We're all either a bunch of religious people or drunks. You know? Pennsylvania, Quaker state, no guns. It was illegal to have a gun in Pennsylvania. Right? Pretty regulated there. They were Quaker state. They want to shoot. Original law of the land was you need to run until you couldn't run no more. And then you're able to protect yourself, but only able to pick yourself, not to kill them, just to get away. They wanted the state, capital bird be a turkey, not a bald eagle. Then someone probably stepped down like, turkey, we need to have a bald eagle. Bald eagle looking cool, man. What if I drew a bald eagle and tattooed on my chest? You want a bald eagle or you want a turkey? Well, turkey is why we built America. It's a survival animal. It's here. And it's, fuck your turkey. We're doing a bald eagle. Okay. Well, the bald eagle looks like it's dying. Not going to last forever. Well, we'll fight for the man bald eagle. Okay. Anyways, but so yeah, there wasn't a bunch of businesses. It wasn't started for your small business. They didn't know what a fucking small business. It just had goods and sales and doing the best they can. And it wasn't, most people are just trying to buy alcohol and, they're working for the farmer. Well, what do you got? The farmer's coming down there. I'm just digging holes and I'm just, herding cattle, just doing whatever I can. You know what I mean? That's why horse theft was such bad. Horse is expensive, and sometimes someone had a horse. I'm like, oh, saved my life. I can't believe I have a horse. Who can feed the horse? They can barely feed themselves. You gotta think about. Let's say, look, it is a movie, right? But look at any Wild West back in the day in movies, and whatever it was, it's 100 times worse than that. There's that one movie, 1,000 Ways to Die in the Wild West. It's like that, but worse. It's just like that. Everybody had dysentery. Everybody's pooping. You couldn't buy toys and clothes. It was crazy. There's nobody nowhere. Very few people. And when some random person shows up with a fucking gun, you're like, we're fucked. We're totally fucked. And if 5 people showed up with guns, we're like, fuck. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to kill that person. Then you're going to get hung and you're going to go to jail. And plus, more than likely, you were fucking religious, Presbyterian, Christian, Catholic, something. You don't kill nobody, man of God. Crazy. I saw that they said the weather is changing, right? So because the weather is changing, they're heating up, the water's getting hotter. The great white sharks are navigating different locations, specifically where the otters are at. They said they've been finding a lot more otters with shark bites, getting bit by sharks. Nothing more to tell you that I'm not going to go swimming in random water ever again. 2 things. One, sharks moving around. Cool. Not going in. I seen a grouper, one of those things one time. Like it's a fish that can eat people, it looks like. Why don't they? They can. Go for it. Okay, so I'm not doing that. I've seen swamp thing. Never getting in with dirty water again. And then alligators. Anything outside of California, never for sure getting in the water over there. Like people swim where there's alligators. What's going on? What's going on in your life where You think swimming with alligators is going to be a great idea, right? Crazy. But what was the other thing I saw? I saw that the sharks, especially the bull sharks, that's where the jaws came from. Everybody knows that. But they're swimming upstream through normal freshwater. People like have houses, and it's like a river, and they have boats. And imagine people swim there, and then you see bull shark. That's some bullshit. Like, how can you say you care about your babies when they can go swimming with bull sharks out? It's crazy. That's why one person got their baby taken at Disneyland. Fucking alligator swooped them up. What's going on? People leaving their babies out and getting swooped up by alligators and shit. Crazy. I'm into this. Most people can get this far, but I was talking about when I first came into coaching. I had a friend that I knew, and we were playing like soccer together or something. He's like, "Hey, your kid gonna play football?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, we get to 5th grade, right? Play football, play in our backyard or something like that, maybe, but maybe yeah, I don't know." He's like, "No, right? And they have like tackle football, I'm like, yeah, like what age do they do that at?" And he's like, "Kindergarten to 6th grade." I'm all, really? They have tackle football for 1st graders? Looking at my kid, and he's like fucking eating paste. I'm like, kindergartners? He's like, eating paste. I'm joking. But my kid was like this little buff kid. And I was like, oh, wow. I couldn't imagine. I don't know if he did flag football or his older son did flag football. I think it was his older brother, not his older son, my oldest son and the brother did flag football. And so like, bring him in. I'm like, okay, well, we'll see how it goes. And so we show up, and then he's like, "Hey, we need an assistant coach too, so you can help be an assistant coach." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I'll just put on a shirt and you just tell me what to do, and I'll watch." You know what I mean? And teams here. There's 5 coaches, including me. There's actually 6. There was a kid, great kid. Unfortunately, he passed away from mixed medication, and went to bed, never came back. Poor kid. Anyways, he's a great kid. Coaching. Yes, we had 5 coaches. The guy asked me, he was the head coach of the team, and I think he's been coaching at schools for like 5th and 6th grade for a long period of time, but now his kid is old enough to play, so he's head coach of this youth football team, It's like one of those pay-to-play ones, where they have around 38 minutes. This fucking personas. I hate this goddamn thing. Anyways, so yeah, he knew all kinds of when it comes to youth football, there's a couple ways to play. Like basically doing an onside kick all the time. If you in 1st to like 6th grade, almost still to high school, if you kick the ball to the other guy in another field, he's gonna run it back like 90% of the time. It's almost impossible for youth football kids to try to stop a kid on a football field when he has the whole football field and he's the fastest kid. Gone. So you do an onside kick, and really you're not trying to get the ball back. You like to, that'd be great, but you're just trying to stop him right there, and typically that prevents a touchdown for run back for a touchdown. So I was like, oh, I didn't know that. Looking like, oh fuck, that makes sense, because then I remember when we got. Later, when I was been coaching now for like 10 years at a certain time, I was helping at the elementary school, and I was like, "Hey, words of the wise. You don't really kick it off on this. You should go for an onside kick. The other teams are going to go for an onside kick too. You shouldn't kick it deep. It's like, whatever, dude. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, okay, he kicks it deep. The guy catches it, runs it back for a touchdown. My mind, it's going to happen every time. It's not you. It's not the team. It's how the game is played. Fucking good luck stopping that kid. Good luck. I mean, fuck. 3 times in a row. Touchdown. He never learned his lesson. And he did it every game. And sometimes it would stop him, but 90% of the time that kid would run a touchdown, no matter who they played. It's like, fucking dummy. So anyways, that guy told me that. I was like, that's pretty smart. Okay. You throw the ball a couple times if you can, but you get like 30 to 40 plays a game. So if you get interception, you lose 6 to 10. And so you only get so many chances to score. So, and a lot of times when it comes to the youth football, it is that you execute a play and then it'll be a breakaway. It's not like typically like you're going to go like 3 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards. It's like play didn't work, play broken up, play broken up, and the guy busts for 35 yards and someone catches him, and then for a touchdown. It usually happens like that over and over again. If you throw a pass, it's usually like a Hail Mary pass almost. Even if it's like to the right or left, it's usually like, oh, please, let's see if it goes down. You do a couple passes, we had bunch of pass plays here and there, but you really got to be smart with it. Manage your possessions. That's when he was like, the guy taught me. Like, okay, that's pretty smart. And then there was a couple of things that I can't remember at the moment. But then I took things in my own hands as I learned. There was a couple guys. There was a really big guy. He organized the league. He was like the leader of the group. And his the way kids took on to what he had to say and the way he presented himself. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. This football organization. I'm like, okay, when I do my football thing, I'm taking his, his mojo, and I even used some of the verbiage he used, and okay, that's some good lessons. And he kids loved him. And then that's two different guys I'm talking about now. And then I met coaches that would find ways to get players in, and I noticed like sometimes. The first team, like I said, there was a couple of people who knew what they were doing, but sometimes there was the 5 guys. So there was the head guy coach that taught me some shit, me. There was another guy who didn't know jack squat. He was a dad, and he was a board member, so he was barely ever there, which was good because he didn't know what he was doing. And then there was one other coach who played college ball, but he doesn't know how to run offense, or never was coaching. He just played wide receiver, caught the ball, and that was it. He just played the wide receiver position, didn't know anything else. And then he was trying to coach this football team like he saw on TV, and it was a total disaster. And I just watched. I was like, ooh. And the head coach was fucking struggling because they liked this guy because he played college ball. The head coach didn't play college ball; he played high school ball. So they were kind of always like looking down on you, like if you want to, like, dude, Joe Montana is not coaching any team, So Trent Dilfer is coaching, and it's not turning out very good. I like Trent Dilfer, but you know what I mean. It doesn't matter. The guy from Dallas, what NFL team did he play? Or sorry, Dolphins. The Dolphins coach, what team did he play for in the NFL? Exactly. Anyways, he was a ball boy. Gosh, but yeah, he was tragic. Then the last guy never talked. He was just the rah-rah guy. He was a dad on the team. He was buff. Never said a damn word. And then one day, we go to a college, and his name's on the wall. I'm like, dude, that's your name? He's like, yeah. I'm like, what do you mean, yeah? So, yes, I played here. I'm like, what? It was a very common name. I'm like, that is your name? So he's like, that's you? He's like, yeah, I'm an all-American safety. Played for Nebraska. Like, what the fuck? Or maybe it was Wisconsin. I don't know. But fucking, I was like, what the? Really? Dude, why? And he didn't coach. He was just there supporting. I'm like, why am even I saying anything? I should never talk. You should do all the talking. You should know something. But he was like, no, dude, that's what I do. He was like, and really, his attitude, and he really said, I'm just really good at football. I just don't really, I don't really know the game like you guys do. I was like, man, that was fucking an honest person. The guy who played college ball, who tried to force his way in, he didn't know what he was doing, and it was a disaster. And eventually, he stopped showing up, and then he never coached again. The guy who didn't play college ball, who taught me everything, played high school ball. He was a great coach, a little too energetic, but knew a lot. and knew how to coach these games. And I think he met his max at one point, but he was good at probably more defense than offense. But he really knew the full all-around game, like as a head coach, what a head coach should know. Like, okay, this is what how you run the game. But now, you do the offense, he does the defense, and I'll just keep on with the micromanaging of the head coach position, whatever it was. But yeah. So me, and then I didn't play high school ball, but I played a little bit of I didn't play high school ball. I played a lot of football growing up, and I'm very, very athletic. So I knew how to, definitely throw better than everybody on the team. That coach that I had, all the coaches that were on my team, even that All-American, I could throw the ball way better than everybody, those guys. And I know football, and I'm pretty good at chess, and I listen. But that year I did nothing and just watch. But I learned that, hey, just because you play college ball doesn't mean you know anything. Because the guy who was the best college ball player, he just was supportive. And he probably, if it was tackling drill, he would destroy everybody. One better coaches didn't have any college ball experience. Just got to listen and learn. Sometimes it's not about, there's different roles. Obviously, one guy has more athleticism, so he's a better player. Other guy's a better coach. One guy can play chess better. One guy can do wrestling better. But I was learning from that first year that your background doesn't make you a good coach at all. And that was the very first year. But I saw the other coaches too, and I saw the leaders of the group and people's history and but their mannerisms, what people thought. Like, how are they going to identify you and how are they going to label you? You know what I mean? What is your experience? Who are you? Where do you come from? I'm like, oh, you're a fucking construction worker? Well, this guy going to teach us. Like, he didn't play college ball. He doesn't know nothing. I'm like, okay, cool. At the end of the day, I coach teams and beat those people. So that's the way it goes. You know what I mean? But yeah, I learned a lot from a lot of coaches. I heard we were talking to a kid the other day who's on a team with my son, and he says, I'm excited it's the first time I ever had a black coach. I said, what? He said, it's the first time I ever had a black coach. I'm like, you've played football your whole life? He's like, yeah, never had there's been like helpers here, but never like a head coach has been like, the black guy, you know what I mean? I'm like, huh, I never thought about it. And then I was thinking about my kid. I was like, pretty much all his coaches have been black. You know what I mean? They didn't think about how many white coaches. There's been like, a coach might be like, when he played for one team, the head coach was white, but the offensive coordinator and the quarterback coach were black. So the people my son dealt with were only the black guys. The head coach, you never talked to him ever. Just talked to this other guy. And then all teams I've always coached or been part of, all the guys that my kids dealt with were all black. And I was like, I never thought about it. It was just strange to hear the kid say, but it was cool to hear he was excited about it. And I never thought about my son's point of view about it. And I don't think my son thinks, I have a black coach or white coach. He just thinks he has a coach. Who's my son would describe it as, who's the dog? Who's honestly the hardworking guy, accountable guy? That's the one he believes in just football, just straight the character of the person. So, but it was funny comment I heard from the kid. He's a black kid, and so he's like, man, I want to see a black coach. I'm like, oh, never thought about it. And it's crazy that the kid played for so long. I'm like, what area are? And I'm thinking about all the coaches I've been, even coach would play against and involved with. Very, very, very few of them have been white. I guess Clovis High does, huh? I don't know about the other school. I don't pay much attention to it. I don't think Clovis East does. I don't fucking know. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, that's that. Coaching. Yeah, like I said, you can learn from best. Like I said, NFL is a great example, especially now, Bill Belichick, it probably wasn't the greatest football player. Mike Singletary didn't turn out great as a coach. Ron Rivera is terrible. The guy in Miami and the guy in L.A. and the guy in San Francisco, all kind of the same. Never really, Kyle might have played a little bit of college ball for him maybe, but not really good. He wasn't really good. Well, too much sugar. man, to concentrate. But yeah, so another great episode. Maybe, unless you had to listen to the whole thing, maybe, huh? So here, get my little doodad over here. Boom. Sweet, yeah. So, all set? Are you all set? All set? Yeah. And said, great episode, Line of the Truth. Like, share, subscribe.
Discovery 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
We out.
Discovery Houston, press to ATO.
Go away, baby. Go.
Roger, 0G.